welcome to the weekly review at Sean Serak. I am Sean King Torres here. Of course, I am joined along with.
And it's your boy Serak the Mike. How we doing this afternoon?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It was a rainy afternoon today. I don't know if you heard about the storms out there, but it was crazy. I mean, it was right? What?
Like, why does this keep happening to us?
I don't even know. I don't know. It's like we just said, hey, Florida, we don't care about rain. Just bring us all the rain. Bring us all the storms. That's all we get all year long. Just storms.
What do we do to deserve all this rain? And like, it sucks. Like, I play on a flag football and softball team, and it just seems like it only rains on the days of our game, and then like it'll rain just enough to cancel the game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
softball field, it'll flood, 2 hours before we start playing, and then it's just like, man, why am I even playing softball if I'm not actually playing? I'm just spiritually part of the team, go team, go team, get out there and win. So, but better than snow, I guess. That's what every snowbird says. Better than snow.
Well, it is. I mean, I lived in snow. I know you lived in snow. I didn't live in that much snow, but you grew up in the snow, and I don't miss it.
I always say this, man. I don't care. I do not care how hot it gets. Like, winter is just, oh my God, man. If you live in Florida and you're curious, don't be. Because I'm telling you, man, the shit is just, it's not fun. And you don't.
It's fun miserable. for a few hours, not even the whole day. For a few hours, maybe even a nice like fire at night with some hot cocoa. Right. But after that, you're done. You don't want any more snow after that. You're done. Right. He's like, just get rid of it. Go away.
Yeah, man. It's like, I would say the only good thing though, when it's like freezing cold. So when I would go back home to visit, and we meet with some friends, you go out to a bar, whatever. And this is when I'm still young enough to where like we go out to like 3 o'clock in the damn morning. Like we're pretty late. Where I should be home sleeping. But like, yeah, you can go in. Everybody's drinking whiskey and bourbon. Of course, you got to stay warm, and like you can get like a little buzz going, maybe a little slizzard a little bit, and as soon as you step outside, I'm telling you, it's like instant sobriety. Like, there's no DUIs in the wintertime in Michigan. I'm dead serious. There's none. Zero.
I believe it.
Cop pull you over, like, sir, I literally just saw you coming from the bar drinking a whole bunch of stuff. You got to be drunk, and like he'll give you a breathalyzer, and you just shivered out shivered out the drunkenness.
Like, officer, I can ice skate in this road if you need me.
Yeah,
trust me, I am sober.
Exactly.
You want to get home? Because I know I want to get home, and I'm freezing.
Right. So I mean, I'll take this rain any day, but like I said, I wish it wasn't today. So well. Yeah, so what we got on the rundown here?
The rundown for today, this will be a shortened show today, but it will still be a complete show. For today's show, we're doing Onlyfans has reverse course on sex. They just caused a whole lot of Twitter hell for nothing, apparently.
How hard it was to make that video about me saying, rooting for them, I guess. And then now they just, man.
And if you go on Twitter now, we'll get into the story. If you go on Twitter now, it's a whole thing. We'll get more into it when we talk.
Well, at least, honestly, though, I'm happy they did. Just because, that's like admitting like you made a mistake. Like, you know what?
At least they did it in time. They did it in time. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We also are going to be talking about the Paralympic swimmers who have won gold, the American Paralympic swimmers who won gold. We even have an esports winner who brought home gold from swimming. Amazing story. We'll get into that. We also have Jake Paul versus the MMA.
Oh, yeah, Sunday, baby.
Yeah, he's got another fight coming up this Sunday, this weekend. But if you talk to some of the people who are around him who came from the MMA to help him, they're getting paid a lot more for a little bit of work than they did the entire time they were in the MMA, so in the UFC. So we're going to talk about that. So with that being said, let's get into it.
All right.
Let's get into it. So OnlyFans. Oh, wait. And also, of course, at the last bit of the show, we have Florida.
Can't forget
there's some funny ones. There's some funny ones this week, as always, with some really funny ones this week.
Can't forget about that.
Can't forget about that. Well, that's it. Let's get into it. So, you want to talk about this OnlyFans?
Yeah, man. So OnlyFans hit pretty much they was playing Uno, and they hit the reverse card, and they messed up. All right, so they switching the whole ordeal. Obviously,
reverse.
I don't think anybody's surprised. That's like if Pornhub was just like, hey, we're only showing like PG-13 related. Like, they will immediately go bankrupt. Like, immediately.
Yes.
Like, you know how many angry, horny people would be out there.
But that's how what we saw is how many angry, horny people out there. Because as soon as OnlyFans did this, it was literally even though we have a massive fuck up going on in Afghanistan right now.
Yeah.
OnlyFans still dominated Twitter and Instagram about this whole thing about them stopping sex.
There's terrorists taking over countries. I'm like, that's kind of important, but this whole OnlyFans situation, I mean, this is definitely breaking fucking news. You know what I mean? This should be on every worldwide national emergency service. Imagine the sirens going off. Like, you know how they have like the tornado warning sirens, but like in the TV pops on, this is an emergency broadcast. OnlyFans has like, what the fuck? I mean, yeah, man, that's good for them though. And plus, I think I don't know anyone personally who has an OnlyFans, but I would think that I'm sure they notified, everybody that's making content. Right. No, so I think that's kind of another reason why they switched back, right? Because it's like, damn, like it's like your boss just come in and say, hey, you fired. Like for what? It's like, oh, well,
So here's how the notification kind of went. So they did come out with the whole thing. We're going to stop selling sets pretty much. And that was the notification. And it was supposed to go into effect October 1st. So they basically had like 2 weeks to get ready for it. And then they had till December 1st to get rid of all content that would go against their new term.
So what were they doing? Like a going out of business sale?
Actually, and that's
fire
the thing.
Sale?
It was a fire sale. It was a fire sale. It's all over Twitter.
Get to the buy station.
Even if you don't follow OnlyFans people, like the content creators or whatever, if you don't follow them, it was still on mainstream Twitter that these people were just outright just pissed. And they had a fire sale. They said, well, I guess I'm moving my stuff to, like, they had other sites. I won't really go into them. But there's other sites you go to.
I know the other sites was like, yes, no.
Yeah. That's
oh shit.
There was even one site, some low name site that even was sending out letters or Twitter notifications to the content creators saying, hey, OnlyFans is going out. Why don't you come to us?
Yeah, like
and even offering signing bonuses to switch over to their platform. So
like imagine how many applications are just picking up dust right now over like a 2-day period. Man, I gotta get a job now. Oh, just kidding. Sorry, I was interested but then something happened in my life. It was personal. I don't think I'll be able to work here. I'm just gonna go home.
So who do you think it affected more? The OnlyFans content creators or the people who consume the content?
Definitely the content creators. I don't think anybody, people obviously they make money doing OnlyFans, but I don't think anybody wants to subscribe to someone's like, I mean? Like, I don't think anybody's like, you know what? Why not? But like, it's just,
I don't know how they get so many subscribers. I don't get it. I mean, because this is unlike, Pornhub or
there are some,
or anything. Like, you can sign up, but you sign up with your credit card. Nothing is sent back that says, hey, you sign up for a porn site. But if you sign up for an OnlyFans, that's linked to your email address, which tells everybody that you are.
It's just too much. I think that's probably why most people don't sign up. Like, wait, how could this get back to me at some form or another? Yeah. You know what I mean?
If I run for office one day, would this come up?
My only concern, my big thing is like, once you like you can't go back from that. You know what I mean? Like once somebody knows you have an OnlyFans, you're an OnlyFans. It's like they know, like, it's like
20 years from now, you'll be like, hey, what you that girl that had that OnlyFans?
Yeah,
man, you are awesome. Why'd you stop?
And then like,
I'm a lawyer now.
Yeah, and with the internet, like you can't even lie. You can't be like, no, that wasn't me. I'm like, oh, you sure? And he just pull it up right there, like, this isn't you. It looks like you. It's just.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, once you commit, like, that's it, man. It's your career now.
There's a Florida, I think she's either a realtor or an attorney, but on Twitter, right? It was last week. It was actually before the whole OnlyFans thing blew up. But on Twitter, someone found out that she was on the Girls Gone Wild videos. Yes,
people still got those.
And people look back that far to find
reminiscent.
I don't get it. I don't understand. But I'm not going to say her name. If you want to find it, it's out there. But I'm not going to say her name. They found this woman's.
What's her name? Like now, what's her name?
They found this woman's information and mirrored it up with all her Girls Gone Wild videos, and like not tagged her so much, but like kind of put like little mini clips showing that this was her. That's the kind of stuff that comes to bite you 15, 20 years later. I mean, and that's really because now she's a realtor who's got to face the fact that this is now coming out about her.
And people will look you up, man. I remember
Oh, yeah.
I was this is a couple of years back. I was looking around a new place, or rent, to live somewhere, obviously. And I went to some house, really nice house. I think it had to be just built within the past couple of years. And it wasn't just me. I was like, I was probably living with like 2 roommates or something like that. And I met with the lady, and you had to do like obviously an application. Mm-hmm. And I remember when you do the application before you go see it. And I walked in, she showed me the place. It was really nice. And she was like, "Oh, that's by the way,"
application beforehand. But anyway,
I mean, no, not beforehand. I'm sorry. She I reached out to her beforehand, gave her like my information, stuff like that. I mean, she looked me up. But basically, like after the tour was over, she was like, "By the way, I when you emailed me, I Googled, because she said I do this with all my tenants. I look them up, I Google them, whatever." And which is, I mean, I guess, I would would too. She was like, "Yeah," and I Googled you, and then like, are you an actor? Because like I forget, because I have a IMDb profile because I did some silly movie here when I first moved to Tampa. Like, it's not even like I don't even watch it. It's so terrible. But like, it's a movie, right? And I got a credit for it. And she's like, "Yeah, I noticed you had an actor profile." And I told her the same thing I just told you. I was like, "Nah, it was just some stupid movie." But I should have played it off like, you want to go down on the price?
Yeah, we can work this out. I can use my brand to bring you more tenants. We can work this out.
More story is, make sure you do a Google search on yourself before you apply for anything.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Make sure it's right. Make sure it's you.
Do a Google search before you get in deep with a woman or a man, whatever your preference is, because you don't even know what's going to pop up about yourself sometimes. Like, I did a Google search myself once, and I was surprised about some things about myself. I'm like, what? And then I wrote a couple of emails, and then some of that BS stuff disappeared. But had I not done that, it would still be out there about me.
Yeah. So hey, look. Make sure you straight for you, especially if you trying to blow up big, man. They like, "Yo, so Serak, back in 2003, you said FOB and then wrote FB word, get money. What do you got against women?" Like, what? That was like 20 years ago. Jesus. Anyways.
Yeah.
So congrats, OnlyFans and the creators. You made it. Yeah. You had a little scare right there. I know. But glad you're back.
But to add to it, diversify. Don't just have all your content on just one. If your whole portfolio
you're gonna do it
is just on one platform, that's just not safe for you at all.
Trying to tell these content creators, OnlyFans, like, listen, this is what you need to do. Okay, so first of all, don't wear that. No.
Don't do that.
That's too much. Too soon.
Yeah. You got too many clothes on.
What are you doing? This is, you just stick to Instagram if that's the case. So after up next, what do we have?
Up next, we have the Paralympics swimmers are winning gold. Paralympics American swimmers are winning gold. So
I didn't even know the Paralympics were on.
The Paralympics are on, and that's kind of the problem. In case you don't somehow
notifications don't work.
Yeah, I don't know. In case you don't get this commercial or any of the television advertisements. Oh wait, that's right. They're not doing a lot of it, so you wouldn't get it. No. You wouldn't know the Paralympics is on, and that's a sorry thing. We spent, not we, because it wasn't my money, but they spent millions of dollars in advertising for the Olympics, which
was like this year's Olympics. I don't even know what you call that. It was just like a shit show, pretty much.
Yeah, it wasn't. And this is not to Japan, and this is not even to the athletes. It just, they were trying to do it in a bad situation, and it just didn't come out like what we expect. That's what No fans in the stands took away a big chunk of it. A lot of the athletes that were supposed to go didn't go. That took off from it, because how can you say you're the best in the world
or when sick
people were saying I'm not gonna go, or sick,
exactly, or you got COVID and like you missed? Wouldn't that suck, right? To get COVID. Yeah. You've been training for minimum at least 4 years, probably, from the previous Olympics. Or waiting for some moment your entire life. And with track and field, man, you have a very small window of, being at your top, just because 4 years, to the next Olympics. You get older, your muscles break down a lot quicker. And to get like sick with COVID, like,
Yeah,
That
right
fucking
then,
sucks.
right at the line. It's got to be. I mean, talk about taking the wind out of your sails. I mean, that's just that would defeat me. But and that's the thing. We spent all that money advertising for the Olympics, and it just didn't live up to, that's what I say. It didn't live up to what we had expected and wanted, and it didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
Now we have the Paralympics going on right now, which they're not advertising like that. They're not saying,
on
oh,
TV?
this is, yeah, if you can find it, but it's not on it's not on, NBC, during the day like the Olympics was. They're not cutting out programming, like the Olympics did. It's another just 17 days. So how come you can't give the same
it's not in the budget.
It is, but you
just go through the budget like, oh fuck, we got the Paralympics. That's the same year. Just I don't know. They just let them do it after the fact. I don't know.
Yeah, but you should give the same cost benefit to the Paralympics that you do to the Olympics. Just because these are people, when you have the Olympics, they're trying at a peak human state. When you have the Paralympics, you have people who are disabled trying at a peak human state.
Can you?
Neither one of them are not trying to compete at a peak human state. So why not advertise this as such and get it out there on TV?
Can you compete? Like, say if you are like, if you're in the Paralympics, and I don't know, say you're missing a leg or something like that, could you still compete in the regular Olympics? Like, remember that Oscar Pistorius guy that got a lot of shit because
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
I think he's like the only one I know that tried to make the actual jump from Paralympics to the Olympics, but then all that happened.
I remember. I mean, it was a Cat Williams stand up, but he was saying that. I mean, I don't know if this was true, but it could have been a joke. But he was saying that Oscar had they like disqualified him because they said that his they're not paper clips, but the joke was paper clips, but his prosthetics legs were like, I mean, they were specifically designed for sprinting. They said it was an unfair advantage because
they were too long.
Well, he didn't have to like bear the weight of like, knee down
flesh.
Or getting tired. I don't know. That's
that was. I heard that Shane Cat Williams joke too, and I guess to a point I can see it being kind of an advantage, but it's going to be less of an advantage because you're using your waist to run, so you don't have any calf muscles. That the calf muscles really propels you in running. Without that, you're using your waist to do everything. So
yeah, I know. I think they were just salty because they lost to him. I was like, man, this is cheating.
I mean,
dude is hacking. Gotta be hacking.
Try to run with just your waist. Try to run flat-footed without using your calf muscles at all. Tell me how that works for you. Just saying. I'm not saying Oscar Pistorius is a great guy. I mean, he did some horrible things, but in that aspect, I don't think that was an advantage.
No,
but
no.
That being said, let's get on here. So here's what we have right now. We have first. I'm going to talk about 17-year-old Anastasia Pagonis.
Okay.
She was there for Team USA during the Olympics. She has won
everything.
The country.
The country. She won the country.
She won the country's first gold.
You win the country.
She won the country's first gold of the Tokyo Paralympics. Let's talk about it. Teenager was racing in the first. This is, of course, from The Guardian. The teenager was racing in the first major international competition of her career, 17.
Okay.
But if she was nervous, she didn't show it. She finished more than 10 seconds ahead of the field to win gold in the 400-meter freestyle S11. Her time of 4 minutes, 54.49 seconds was also a world record. Lisette Bruzama of the Netherlands and China's Kai Liwen took silver and bronze respectively. A quote from her: "I knew that I always swim better at night. I just needed to have my warm up in the morning and get used to the pool and get the nerves out.
Wait,
because I was super nervous this morning, but gonna say now I feel super confident going into all my other races." Yes, because think about it. When you think about the time difference, to them it's night. To us,
oh yeah, but swimming at night, that's kind of scary.
I mean,
I had a dream I drowned the other day, and I don't know. I never really recovered from that yet. I'm still shaking every time I see a glass of water.
Pagonis was already one of the highest profile athletes coming into Tokyo Games, even before she won gold. She has more than 2 million followers on TikTok, where she uses her platform to give an insight into the life of a blind athlete, as well as introducing fans to her co-star, Guide Dog Radar. One video in which she explained how she brushes her teeth clocked up 12 million views. Quote from
Wait, I mean, like, What should you do differently?
I guess brushing my. I don't know. A quote
I'm
from
gonna try. I'm gonna try to
this.
close my eyes and brush my teeth later on.
I actually do brush
I
my
guess that's
teeth with
kind of
my eyes
tough.
closed.
Right?
No, it's not because I brush my teeth with my eyes closed. I'm not trying to get toothpaste in my eye. Have you ever got toothpaste in your
Why
eye?
would your toothpaste get in your eye?
Cause you. And then it
You're doing
out.
The premium wash.
Well,
brush.
it's electronic, man. It's
premium.
electronic. Electronic. They spit stuff everywhere. I have to wear a bib during when I brush my teeth.
Put the napkin on your lap. Yeah. Put the napkin on your lap. You eating in there? Nah, brush my teeth.
Another quote from Gonis. I do this for that random little girls that's sitting out there scrolling through her phone and just listens to one of my videos, and hopefully I can help her and change her life in some way, she told the Washington Post. And I do it for myself. People are going to make fun of me. People are going to laugh at me. I might as well make fun of myself.
Oh, that's pretty nice. I'm gonna check out her TikTok too. And this silly dog in here is like crying at the door because he thinks that his mom is here and he doesn't understand the concept of out of town. So he's just like, he's so confused, even though it's National Dog Day. Come here.
She is from she's a Long Island native. But that's just one. Another surprising entry is former Valorant pro. Do you know what the game Valorant is? It's a PC first-person shooter game that's kind of like if you took Ghost Recon Wildlands and made it into a massive open player game. You have this game.
Okay.
He is a esports star under the name of Magnet Brain. His real name, Magnet Brain, is his esports name. His actual name is
Magnet
Rowan. Rowan Crothers. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Rowan
he definitely
Crothers.
should go with Magnet Brain.
He came in first in the men's 50-meter freestyle in the S10 swimming at the Tokyo Olympics, at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.
What's his if you don't mind me asking, what makes him eligible for the Paralympics? And he's in games too, so it must be
he has cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is what makes him eligible. So that's a very debilitating disease to have.
Right.
So
damn, it must be tough to play games too, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the fact that he's an esports star and also now a gold medalist, that's something. He's an Olympian gold medalist and an esports star. And one quote I gotta get out here before we move on is from this user on Twitter named Mitch. His grad name is Kunky OC. I cannot believe the same guy who crushed my ego in a CGM game on Nuke with a Krieg is almost breaking world records at the Paralympics. What a god, Magnet Brain.
Damn, isn't that crazy? Like he's beating you on all fronts.
Yeah,
like because you want to play games sometimes. You play with strangers, they be talking all types of nonsense, and if I see you in real life, people are. But then this guy is like the real deal in real life.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
he wins a gold medal, and then it's like, all right, catch me at 10 o'clock tonight. I'll be streaming with my gold medal on. Congrats to him. What was his name one more time? I'm sorry, I laughed.
His name is Rowan.
No, but his username.
Magnet Brain.
Magnet Brain.
Yes.
All right.
That's what he goes by. So
evil villain.
I'm sure he's
evil villainish. Evil villainish.
I'm gonna have to actually play that game. So I'm actually have to try and hop on there and check it out. But we will keep this. We will have more on the Paralympics next week. It's because the news isn't reporting on it. Doesn't mean that our show we will talk about the Olympics, the Paralympics, because it needs that playtime. But moving on, because as I said, we are a time crunch. What do you have for us next, buddy?
I thought it was with the Florida. Or did I forget something?
Jake Paul versus MMA.
Oh yeah, so Sunday, Jake Paul versus Tyrone Woodley. I forgot what time it is. Probably 8 o'clock. Prime time. But
it is.
I'm starting to respect this Jake Paul guy.
I know,
like at first
I don't like him, but I can respect him.
Yeah, but like,
and it's at 7 p.m. on Sunday.
But like, you gotta like either be the villain or the hero, right? So it's hard. Everybody wants to be the hero. That's the competition, is trying to be the hero. But the villain's easy, man. Just say some shit people don't like, and boom, people. And that's how it starts. Obviously, I have a brother who's just as crazy, Logan. But I think, I kind of like this Jake kid. he's promoted himself well. They've done a great marketing job. He's won previous fights, so it's not like, he's coming in there, already gotten his ass whooped or something like that. And now I think this is an important one though, because Tyron Woodley is a real fighter. He ain't like, them previous dudes. The one guy was wrestling or some shit. I don't even know, but like this is actual like, well, I hope so, because I don't want to say this and then next time we put on a show, I'm like, man, I can't believe Tyron Woodley got knocked out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
in 2 seconds, as soon as the fight started, he was done.
I'm gonna say this. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I don't have a favorite. I don't know who's gonna win. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It might be a draw. But if anybody gets knocked out, it better be Jake Paul. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. So here's my thing about Jake Paul. If you didn't, I don't know if you were a comic book fan and you're on up. I did. And so when you read comic books, some members in comic books are kind of an antagonist. They're not good, they're not bad, they're not really bad, they're not really good. It's kind of in the middle. That's kind of how I'm seeing Jake Paul more and more lately. He's like the Catwoman of basically of boxing and MMA right now, and this is literally what his sparring partner said, and this is kind of how I'm growing on him. Jake Paul's sparring partner Anthony Taylor has revealed that he made more money in 2 months sparring with the YouTuber than he did in his entire 7-5-0 MMA career.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's like, and I'm not even mad. I'm happy for that guy.
Yeah,
because he's getting paid what he thinks at least he's worth, and what Jake Paul thinks he's worth.
Yes.
Like I don't like. I think like I think everything's kind of shifting to like the self-promoting thing, right? Because now the UFC feels threatened. Boxing should be praising these Paul brothers, because if it weren't for them, I mean, nobody really watches boxing. I mean, unless Floyd Mayweather came out of retirement or something like that, it's just like, it's still entertaining, but it's not as appealing as, UFC every week. It's a title fight or something like that. But now with this whole like cross fighting with, celebrities, and it's like celebrity deathmatch, like the MTV show kind of, but I think at first I hated it, but now it's like, it's way more entertaining, and that's what they're going for. They're making a ton of money. Everybody hates them, but it's something to watch.
Yeah, I think that you had to have something eventually come up that could compete against Dana White and the UFC. Right. Bellator was that, but Bellator is still up there. Don't get me wrong, but they're not to the status of UFC, and they're not to the status of just Jake Paul by himself. Right. So the fact that Jake Paul can bring this kind of attention to this industry and say, "Hey, look, the fighters, the people who are actually giving you your entertainment, are not getting paid, what they're actually worth."
Sorry,
it brings attention that now these players, these athletes can start getting paid what they're worth, right? Because Dana White's getting rich, so why can't the rest of his people get rich? Exactly. You're already rich, Dana White. Let everybody get rich too.
And you got to think it's just all started with the McGregor Mayweather thing.
Yeah, exactly. It did. And one of the things is, and this is what Jake said, and we'll move on. He said one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because of Conor McGregor. Look at Conor McGregor. He had a massive fight, and now he is still under the thumb of Dana White and the UFC. He still has to bark when they say bark. Yeah. So, I can give Jake, even though I don't like Jake Paul, I can give him respect for trying to bring attention to something that does need attention brought to it. But with that said, I'm ready for What the Florida, unless you got anything else.
I'm ready for What the Florida. Let's do it.
All right.
Sorry,
let's get to What the Florida.
You're good.
Dog. It's dog.
But it's National Dog Day. I let it slide.
And to any of our listeners, just so you know, I am on the hunt for a Cane Corso. Yeah. That is what I'm trying to get. I've been hunting for one for the last 2 months. So if you get a Cane Corso puppy, want to let us know you have one, I'm on the hunt for one. I'm just not trying to buy one for the price of a used Neon.
Yeah. Just saying. How much is that puppy? Oh, 10 grand. Like, no, I said the puppy.
Yeah. That's what it's coming out to. All right. So let's get ready for What the Florida. As you guys know, you already know the rules. He knows the rules. And so we're going to jump right into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready, baby.
All right. First Florida story. Florida man and his daughter protest against mask mandate outside of her high school. He was arrested after recording mask students and assaulting a girl who tried grabbing his phone. I think this mask thing is just getting ridiculous. It just is. I'm sorry. Florida. A father was taken into custody during his protest against the public schools mask mandate. Police arrested 50-year-old Dan Ballman Wednesday morning, charging him with child abuse without great bodily harm. According to police, Ballman was recording on his cell phone as he was walking into the high school with his daughter, Isabel. That's when he got into an altercation with another student over the recording. She's the only kid to stand up and fight this, Ballman said before his arrest. I mean, look around you. They're so indoctrinated. And if they're against me, that's fine. I mean, they can wear a mask if they want to. My point is, this is what Isabel said. My point is, I don't want to wear one, and that is my right. I want to be able to go to school like everyone does, but I can't wear a mask. I can't breathe in it, and I want to have that choice, but they're not letting me in. Very true.
Why don't you just homeschool?
For the last several days, Ballman and his daughter have attempted to enter the school without wearing masks to no avail.
Why, but like, okay, then go to another school. Like, why? See, people just want to cause problems. Yeah, like how do I make a scene? All right, let me go there. They have to wear masks. Hey, whether you want to wear it or not, that's just the school rules, whatever. Okay, well then I'll just transfer to another school that is not as strict, or move out of state. You know, like, don't try to go in there and cause a fight. You're not gonna win that. You're gonna go into school. They probably got security guards who waiting to fight somebody. Oh man.
All right. Next story. Okay. Oop, almost lost it. Florida man wakes up to find another man sucking on his toes.
Whoa, that is not what I thought you was about to say.
I know, right? A Florida man woke up in the middle of the night to find another man sucking on his toes, according to the sheriff's office. Deputies say the man was sleeping in his bed when he woke up and realized he wasn't alone. The man told deputies he assumed he was being robbed, so he told the intruder he didn't have any money.
Rob, what
the money wasn't what
nail polish on his toe? What was they stealing?
The intruder told the man he was there to suck on his toes, according to an investigation write-up. That's when the man punched the accused toe sucker and forced him outside, according to investigators. While the two brawled, the man who sucked the toes told the other man he had a gun and tried to fondle him, according to investigators. Tried to fondle him? The man continued to hit the intruder for about 30 seconds before running inside and calling 911. Deputy said at this point, the intruder broke out the front window of the home and stomped on the other man's car windshield until it broke. Deputy said.
Oh my God.
Investigators said the toe-sucking man took off, so they tried to track him with a K9, but were unable to find him. So we have a toe sucker,
toe burglar
somewhere in Florida.
Toe burglars out there. You sleep with some shoes on, or just sleep with some Tim boots. Like, yeah,
that is. Could you imagine though? Like, oh, I'm sleeping so. Oh,
no, that's
so good.
Honestly, like,
I
feel like that dude. Nah, man, they was boys. Like, he knew that dude was there to suck his toes. There's no way you just wake up somebody sucking your toes and you're just like, how'd you get here? Like, they probably got drunk, passed out. Dude woke up to him sucking his toes, freaked out, knew he'd be embarrassed, so he called the cops after he beat him up. But obviously the toe sucker got away.
Yeah, right? That's the thing. He's got away. We have a toe sucker on the loose somewhere in Florida.
And I woke up and somebody's sucking on my toes. They not getting away. Like,
no,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There will be a blood trail to tell me where you went.
Yeah,
just saying. All right.
They didn't extract the DNA off the dude's big toe. Like,
there's gotta be DNA everywhere. There's gotta be DNA.
His toenails. I woke up to a pedicure.
Florida man who happens to be an ex-NFL player attacked staff at a hot spot. His friend then pulls gun on staff during the melee. Here's the story. Ex-Giant Luke Pettigout arrested for attacking Carbone staff. Powell pulls gun. Troubled former New York Giant player Luke Pettigout, who served a month in jail for harassing his wife and her date in 2015 and was found in possession of drugs in 2016, was arrested at Senior Eatery in Carbone Sunday after a fistfight with wait staff that led to his friend James Philip Bruner pulling a gun on the staff at the Swanky Italian joint, according to police reports. The arrest affidavit provided 2-page sits by police. Sorry about that. States that according to witnesses and victims, both Pettigout and his pal were preventing that both were causing a disturbance when the restaurant staff preventing them from commencing their closing procedures. Both Pettigout and his pal were causing a disturbance when the restaurant staff preventing them. This was not written very well. Preventing them from commencing their closing procedures. An argument ensued with both defendants and the restaurant staff, which consequently became physical.
So like, hey guys, we're closed. Like, we're still eating. Yeah, you don't understand. We're closed. I'm leaving.
I gotta go home. I gotta eat myself. 3 victims claimed to call the cops that claimed 2 cops that Pettigout struck them with a closed fist during the melee, while another stated that he purposely pushed him in the midst of the altercation. One staffer at the restaurant, whose original New York location is beloved by many stars, alleged that after he was hit with a closed fist by Pettigout during the brawl, Bruner produced a firearm and pointed it directly at him.
He didn't shoot him?
No, didn't shoot him. But a witness did record the entire fight on her cell phone.
Oh, I might have to watch that. Have to watch that. All right.
Those are the 3 stories you had to choose from, sir. And where did they happen at?
All right. First story. I feel like I heard of it with the dad or whoever going up to the school and fighting with the girl. I think that's in South Florida.
That happened in Miami. So yes.
Yeah. See, I kind of cheated. I didn't cheat, but I felt like I read that story, saw it. Yeah. All right. Number 2, the toe burglar. That has to be here. That's Central Florida. That's probably in Tampa, to be honest.
It happened in Bradenton. So yes, you're very close.
Okay. Hey. All right. Third one. Okay. A little brawl, a little scuffle with some ex-players. All right. I'm gonna say South Florida again.
Let's say South Florida again. It was in Miami at the Miami hotspot, Corbone. One quick one. I know you got to run, but one quick one for you, real quick. Let me see if you guess one. Woman caught lighting a cigarette on a plane was arrested.
Isn't that crazy though? Because like 30 years ago, it was perfectly legal, or 40 years ago. I don't know what year is it? 2021? Yeah, 40,
but I guess. That's still like too many years to not. I mean, you've been on a plane. You know you can't smoke on a plane.
Yeah, I would just say like, sorry, my dementia's kicking in or my Alzheimer's, and I thought it was 1966. My apologies. Won't happen again, I promise. Oh man,
where did it happen at?
That is in North Florida.
Actually, is not in Florida at all. She was headed to Fort Lauderdale, but
that's not fair.
A Florida story. That's why
it's not fair.
It was a caveat. You got 3 for 3. Don't even worry about it. You're good.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, you're good. Anyway, you have anything else?
Nah, I am golden.
All right. With that being said, and on the toe suckers, big news that we have a toe sucker on the loose somewhere in Florida.
Put the shoes on.
We're gonna call this a show. This has been the weekly review with Sean and Serak. I am Sean the King Notorious.
And it's your boy Serak the Mike. Peace.
Thanks for listening.